The story which has come out today about the 74-year-old Ghanaian man who has been living in the UK for 50 years and who is told that he must wait a decade before the Home Office will let him stay permanently and that he must pay 10,000 odd pounds in order to use the NHS is simply heartrending and shocking. He's a man called Nelson Shardi, and he's from the Wirral, and he assumed he was British. He'd married a British wife. He was caught in Britain in 1977 when there was a coup in Ghana, and his family could no longer send him money to continue his education, so he took on a series of jobs. He got on his bike, in other words, as Norman Tebbit would have advised, and he worked for Mother's Pride, Kipling's Cakes, Bendix Chocolate in Winchester, and no one ever questioned his right to work or live in the UK, and he paid taxes. And he had children, and in fact he married twice. He got divorced, and he married another woman. They had two sons, Jacob and Aaron. He told his sons to learn hard, get a good job, work for themselves. They both went to university and then had careers in research and as a public relations executive. He'd never left the UK in all that time. He saw no need to. He regarded the UK as his home. More than that, he was given an award for bravery in 2007. But in 2019, he applied for a passport so he could go back to Ghana following the death of his mother, and he was told then that he was not British, and the Home Office said that he had no right to be in the UK. He was advised there was a 10-year route to resettlement. Over the 10 years, it would cost him £7,000, with a further £10,500 to be paid to the NHS. He says, I can't afford the money that they're asking. And more than that, he's recovering from prostate cancer. And the 10-year process had to begin in 2023. So it will be when he's, 84, that he will permanently be allowed to stay in the UK. He said, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was just ridiculous. And his son, Jacob, does research in cardiovascular physiology. Why would he need to start this 10-year route when he's been here since 1977? This is madness. And it's the sort of madness that, really we ought to appeal to the one person who can sort this out. But I don't suppose he will, because he doesn't know how to put a straightforward answer to a question. This is Rishi Sunak. All Rishi Sunak needs to say is this man should be allowed to stay here. This is an exception that should be made. And there is no question that he should be put in this miserable position for, again, an oversight. There are plenty of people in the British Parliament who make oversights every day. In fact, somebody has just been found to have abused the expenses system again. A Conservative minister, no less. Reality TV stars have abused the system. And, and the list goes on of people who fall foul of the system. Now, in some cases, in the case of the reality TV stars, they were taking advantage of offers that they had been given. But the problem with reality TV, as I've said again and again and again, is there is no clear route for reality TV stars, nor is there any clear support for reality TV stars, and that should change. But it doesn't change because the big TV companies rake it in out of reality TV because they know they're dealing with people who have no support system, who have nobody else to turn to say that television company is wrong. But But equally, when they get out of the system, they can easily be led down alleys which are inappropriate. These people aren't business people. These people are TV stars. This man is not a criminal. This man is somebody who has worked hard all his life, has paid taxes, has brought up his children, and indeed paid for his education by working hard. This is the sort of country that we live in, that attacks people who work hard and finds loopholes to abuse them, while nevertheless allowing people like Nadim Zahawi to get away with buckets of abuse. Nadim Zahawi can say, oh, it was an oversight. Millions of pounds oversight. And yet somebody else. This is not a fair society. This is not a society that I would like to live in for the next 10 years if this is how it continues. I don't want to be associated with this odorous behavior by the people in charge. When whistleblowers who are doing the right thing are pilloried and punished for opening their mouth. When people who work hard are punished for working hard, simply because there's a piece of paper that they lack that hasn't been given to them in over 50 years. And it's that casual attitude of the state system that hasn't done its job in so many years and then transfers the blame to ordinary people who really are victims. And that holier-than-thou, patronizing attitude of our bureaucrats, many of whom are pig-ignorant and unbelievably stupid, and have been all their lives. And they're sitting pretty on their banknotes, lording it over people who have worked hard, who have careers, who have a brain, but who perhaps for some oversight lack a particular piece of paper that is now considered important. We do not deserve to behave in this way. We do not deserve to have people like Nelson Shardey working among us if this is the way we treat them. The list is endless of people who we in Britain have abused. The list is endless. And our bureaucrats continue to abuse people with impunity. Malkinson, why has he not been paid the money he was promised? The Windrush people, why have they not been given compensation? Why do they have to go on bended knee asking the British government and British institutions for money which is their due? Why can these institutions not do a bit of work and find them? And come to them on bended knee and say, I am sorry we fouled up so much. No, you've got to prove that you deserve the compensation. What utter rot! This is a snivelling, horrible society that has developed in the last few years. And I must say, with my hand on my heart, that I reject it. This is not a society that I wish to belong to. It has to change.